Welcome to the Garden Gossip Update for September, where the tomatoes are tattling, the cucumbers are quitting, and the sunflowers are silently judging me from across the yard. At this point, my garden feels less like a well-oiled system and more like a reality show with too many personalities and not enough water. Some plants are thriving like it's still July. Others have fully given up and are just lying dramatically on the ground like, I can't. And I get it. Same. September is weird. It's not quite summer, not quite fall, and the garden is in this chaotic in-between where everything's changing at once. Some days, I walk out and think, wow, I'm really nailing this. Other days, it's giving survival mode with a side of compost. So if your garden looks confused this month, same, you're not alone, and honestly, it's kind of beautiful. Let's talk about gardening fails, because apparently I needed some character development this season. Every year, I promise myself I'll follow the spacing rules. And every year, I lie. This September, I'm reflecting on the mistakes because, wow, there were plenty. I planted too close together. Again. I overwatered during a rain week. Again. I planted lettuce right before a heat wave, like some kind of optimistic fool. And don't even get me started on pest control. I saw the first aphid and thought, it's just one. Famous last words. But here's the thing. Mistakes are part of the process. You figure out what your garden actually needs, not just what the tag on the plant said. So if your garden isn't perfect this month, congrats, you're doing it right. Summer might be packing up, but your garden doesn't have to. September isn't the end, it's the second act. While the summer crops are bowing out, fall crops are stepping in like, hold my trowel. You can still plant cold, hardy greens like spinach, arugula, mustard greens, root crops like radishes and turnips, and of course garlic, the VIP of fall planting. These plants don't need a heat wave or long days. In fact, they prefer the chill. Plus, fewer bugs, less watering. And you can garden in a hoodie, which honestly improves everything. So if you thought it was too late, it's not. The fall garden is quieter, slower, and a little more forgiving. Kind of like the gardening equivalent of soup season. September is when everything starts to fade. The vines are drying out, the sunflowers are slumping. The squash has given its final fruit and is now just vibes. This is the season of cleanup and compost. I'm pulling up spent plants, chopping them down, and feeding the compost bin like it's a bottomless pit of decay and dreams, but also kind of love it. There's something deeply satisfying about clearing beds, turning over soil, and making space for what comes next. Even if you didn't get the perfect harvest, the cleanup reminds you, this was still growth, this was life, and now it's feeding the next round. Nothing says September like planting next year's garden while ignoring this year's weeds. I don't know what it is about September, but suddenly I'm knee-deep in seed catalogs, sketching out new garden layouts, and dreaming about next spring like I haven't made any mistakes this season. It's delusional, but it's tradition. This is the month where you look back at what worked, what flopped, and what you swore you'd never grow again, and then put it back on the list anyway. Maybe you're thinking about building new raised beds. Maybe you want to try winter sowing. Or maybe you're just daydreaming about a more manageable garden that magically weeds itself. Either way, now's the time to dream it up. Because every messy bed and crispy leaf out there, it's just compost for the next big idea. It's not just me and my plants out here. It's me, my plants, and every freeloading bug in town. Can we talk about pests? Because this month, they've been having a feast. I found caterpillars doing yoga on my kale, aphids multiplying like they're trying to start a pyramid scheme, and there's one squirrel who now thinks the garden is his personal buffet. The worst part? They don't even pay rent. I've tried all the tricks, neem oil, sprays, good vibes, but sometimes you just have to admit, the pests are winning this round, and that's okay. It's all part of the chaos. But I will say, if I catch that squirrel one more time with my cherry tomatoes, we're gonna have words. These garden tips could have saved me from fried lettuce and emotionally damaged cucumbers. Here are the garden hacks I wish I'd known in August. 1. Deep watering is everything. Plants don't want to sip, they want to chug. 2. Shade cloth isn't dramatic, it's necessary. 3. Succession planting isn't just for professionals. It's how you avoid the everything dies in September blues. Also, maybe label things better. I planted kale and forgot where. Still can't find it. Gardening teaches you through mistakes, but if you can shortcut a few, do it. Because no one wants to be harvesting regret in September. Hey, you're still here, which means you're officially one of my favorite kinds of people. Someone who loves gardens, chaos, and sticking around through the wilted lettuce and the squirrel drama. Seriously, thank you for joining me on this September garden walk. It's not always perfect, but it's real. And every season has its own kind of magic, even if that magic occasionally smells like compost. If you haven't already, don't forget to check out the AI gardening app from Strong Echo. It's built for gardeners like us, who love to grow but don't always have time to figure it all out. And now, for the rest of this video, no voiceover, no tips, just the sound of birds, breeze, and a garden doing what gardens do best, existing beautifully in its own wild way. Take a deep breath, enjoy the view, you can grow it.